Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Jamie Hughes Show. My name as always is Jamie Hughes and today I'm running down my list. This is my opinion of the 10 greatest wrestlers of all time. This is in conjunction with What Culture Wrestling, their magazine. In their next issue, issue 3, they're running a list of the 100 greatest wrestlers of all time. So they are asking people to send in their list of the top 10. There'll be a link for that down in the description below of how you can send in your list of wrestlers. But today I'm going to give you mine. Straight away, this is my list, so you might not agree with some of the selections on here, but as I said, it's my list, so haters going to hate. So let's get straight into it. And talking about the haters, my number 10 on this list is John Cena. Now, I know, again, this is quite a controversial pick, but for me, Cena is one of the greatest ever. You think he's a 15-time world champion. He is probably going to tie Ric Flair, and I think he's going to beat Ric Flair. He's probably going to go to 17, if not 18 or more, by the time he retires. But just look at the stuff. He really cemented it for me for the past couple of years. His US title run, the matches he was putting on with the likes of Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, they were genuinely brilliant matches. This guy can, for all these people that say John Cena can't wrestle, he really, really can. And he is genuinely a great wrestler. His ring psychology, the way he sells, the way he builds up a story. He is genuinely, I think, one of the best wrestlers ever. But that is why he is the number 10 on my list. Okay, in at number 9, it is another controversial pick. I think it's a woman's wrestler, but it's not controversial because it's a woman's wrestler. It's controversial for who the woman's wrestler is. I'm going to say I'm going out on a whim here. My number 9 pick is Sasha Banks. Now, I know she's really recent. I know she's only just sort of started in the wrestling business. But I genuinely think she has the potential to be one of the best ever. That's why I'm putting her on this list. Because I think she deserves that acclaim already. Every time she gets in the ring, I am genuinely excited to watch her. She makes women's matches so exciting. Whatever matches she's in. The stuff she did with Bayley, stuff she's doing with Charlotte at the minute and Dana Brooke and Bayley, it's just brilliant. It's genuinely brilliant. I know people think Bayley might be the better wrestler, but I think overall the style that Sasha Banks has, the way that she is so creative, every time she does something different in a match, and that's what I love, and that's why I think if WWE give her a decent run, she will be cemented as not only one of the best women's wrestlers ever, but one of the greatest ever, and that is why she is number 9 on my list. Sorry, she's number 9 on my list. Okay, in at number 8 it is Chris Jericho. I was debating putting him higher, just surely he is the stuff he is doing now is so good. It is brilliant. I think this is the best run he's ever had with WWE. Best character run he's had with WWE. He never puts on a bad match. He knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to work a ring. He's got great ring psychology. I mean, the claim he's wrestled all over the world. I mean, he's a 9-time Intercontinental Champion. First ever Undisputed Champion. They have given him so much, and they've given the ball so many times, and he's ran with it and been so interesting, so engaging. And I think he's on this list mainly because of the stuff he's been doing recently, because he's just brilliant. He's a brilliant heel. He knows, as I said, he knows how to command a crowd. And his in-ring work, for a guy who's 45, for him still to be going every week is incredible. And he is one of the best ever, without a doubt. I think he's going to be on everyone's list, but that is why he is the number 8 pick on my list. Okay, in at number 7, it is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I think, he's probably the oldest wrestler on this list, as in the old school wrestlers on this list. But he's just so fluid in the ring, especially even when he got old, that match with Jericho he had at WrestleMania 25, he's still so fluid and so active. And I think if you brought him back and he had a run now, he would still give some of the young guys a run for his money. I think it's a shame that he never got more acclaim as in championships, but he was one of the most solid workers ever. The stuff he did with Randy Savage at WrestleMania 3, that was match of the year that year. He's in a Continental title run. It was brilliant. He is just one of those, he's just a solid guy. I want to say more about him, but I don't know how, because he's generally just a good worker in the ring, I say. And you could bring him in a match now. You could show anyone that Randy Savage match, and they would enjoy it. And that is why Ricky Steamboat is my number 7 pick on this list for one of the greatest wrestlers ever. In at number 6, again, I don't know if this guy should be higher on this list, but this is Shawn Michaels, my number 6 pick. Been around forever, as you all know. I think when I was a kid, I didn't really appreciate like how good he was until I got a little bit older. And yeah, just like, wow, like how good this guy was in the ring. Like the ladder match at WrestleMania 10, the Iron Man match with Bret. As I said, I was too young. I wasn't like born when a couple of those matches came out. But going back and watching them and just seeing his stuff that he did when he was older, obviously the hallowed match at WrestleMania 25 with the Undertaker, and even his stuff with like Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 21. That's like the first time I remember seeing Shawn Michaels and thinking, wow, this guy is a genuinely like great performer. So yeah, I wish I'd have seen more Shawn Michaels, and he probably would have been higher on this list. Like if I could remember him more when I was a kid. Obviously the DX stuff, that was when I started getting into wrestling. But yeah, really, really great performer. Yeah, I can't say any more than that. That is why he's number 6 on this list. Number 5 is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, epitomizes the Attitude Era for me. I was more like a Triple H and a Rock guy when I was growing up, but again, going back and seeing what he did for the industry in like from 98 onwards to like 2003, you realize how much you can't just help but have appreciation. And he saved wrestling. He made wrestling cool again. And yeah, I can't say any more than that. He epitomizes a professional wrestling. He epitomizes the Attitude Era. If you speak to people that don't know about wrestling, they know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is. They still think his shirts are cool, and he was a great worker. I say like all the championship reigns he has, Intercontinental Championship reigns, like the great matches he had a great character, and that is why he's like number 5 on this list. Maybe he should be higher, but as I said, it's my list. And that's why I think Stone Cold is on this list, because of how great a character and what he represented. That's why he's on this list. In at number 4, it is Kurt Angle. Again, this might be a controversial pick, I think, but for me, again, it was like that match. Like I always remember him as a kid, like going up against The Rock, and I remember his stuff with Edge when he like shaved his head, but vaguely. But it was again WrestleMania 21. It's one of those defining matches for me. Was with him, the inter-promotional match with Shawn Michaels. I just remember thinking, wow, like this is like the first great wrestling match I remember standing out in my brain as watching it as a kid. And this guy is a testament. As I said, he's the same as Jericho. He's in his 40s, but he's producing some of the best wrestling work of his life. Obviously, he left WWE, went to TNA. Now he's sort of mooching around the independent circuit. I am going to see him at What Culture Pro Wrestling on the 8th of October against Cody Rhodes in Manchester. I'm going to be there, and I'm so excited because he's like one of my wrestling heroes. I can't wait to see him. But yeah, he's genuinely like just a great, solid worker. Almost like Ricky Steamboat. Like he's a solid worker. I can't remember him having a bad match ever. He was always involved in great angles, if you'll pardon the pun. And yeah, he was just really, really enjoyable. I always remember Kurt Angle matches as being good and vividly standing out in my mind. So that's why he is number 4 on this list. In at number 3, it is Bang Bang. Mick Foley is my like second favorite wrestler ever. And yeah, that's why he's number 3 on this list. This is probably more of a nostalgic thing why he's so high. But just like the stuff he did, like he was so smart. Like he knew psychology, he knew the ring psychology side of it. He knew the technician side. Like in like the late 90s when he knew that he was like going downhill, his health was deteriorating. But for him to stay current, as I say, he changed like Mankind from like the sinister, maniacal Mankind to like the comedy Mankind. That was genius. That was a stroke of genius. And that's what I loved about Mick Foley. Like, dude loved, ow, have mercy. Like, dude loved Cactus Jack. I never saw Cactus Jack wrestle, which sounds really stupid to say, but I always remember Mankind was like the face of Foley that I was prominent with. But I have gone back and watched some old like Foley stuff, and he was just brilliant. He knew the business, he knew wrestling, and he knew how to put on a great match. And I say this may be a little bit of a hazy vision for me, and maybe a little bit of nostalgia creeping in as to why I think like Foley is like the 3rd greatest wrestler in my opinion. But yeah. He has to be on this list, and that is why he is number 3 on my list, because I love old Mickles. Okay, number 2 on this list is the late, great Eddie Guerrero. I don't think anyone can argue with this one. He is brilliant. He deserves to be near the top of everyone's list. He is one of the best wrestlers, one of the best wrestlers I have ever seen. He was my favorite growing up as a kid. I remember like the SmackDown, like mid 2000 SmackDown was like, sorry, early to mid 2000 SmackDown with the brand split. He was just putting on great match after great match after great match. His feud with JBL, I always remember that. I always remember him being on the top of the cage for like it was like a cage match for the championship after he just lost it to JBL, and he was at the top of the cage, and I was like, Eddie, just climb out, and he ended up doing a frog splash from the top of the cage, and it was just brilliant. But I was so gutted that he didn't win. Obviously, his match against Brock Lesnar is one of my favorite ever for how emotional and great that was, and it is a genuine shame that he passed away so early, because we've missed out on probably Eddie Guerrero's greatest years. I think he would have been like Chris Jericho, still performing now at the highest level, and I really miss him in a wrestling sense, because he would have been so great with some of the young guys coming up now. So that is, again, I can't be cynical or anything here or make any type of joke. Eddie Guerrero deserves to be on everyone's list as one of the greatest of all time. Okay, and in at number one, it is, boom. I was going to try anything gong, but it's not going to work. My number one, I think the greatest wrestler ever is The Undertaker. 25 years in the business, 21-0, he went at WrestleMania until down Brock Lesnar cost him the streak. One of those wrestlers that I always like knew and remembered. He was always one of my favorite. I always had like, I remember getting, this is quite a funny story. Well, it's not funny because it kind of hurt, but I fell off my bike when I was a kid and like cut all my arm open. And I was really gutted, and my mum went and bought me an Undertaker wrestling figure, and like when he was in the American Badass, and I just loved the Undertaker's work. I love his moves. I love his style. I just love how great he is. That's why he is my number one pick. I love like all the storylines he's been in. I just think he's a great worker. And as I say, that hallowed match of WrestleMania 25. If none of you have seen it between him and Shawn Michaels, it's brilliant. But like every WrestleMania match he's had has been good. There's been a few ones that maybe aren't great, but he always puts on great matches when he comes back. Even the stuff he did with Brock Lesnar last year, when he's knocking on to like in his 50s now. I don't really know what to say, because it's really hard to say stuff about someone you love without sounding really creepy. But I genuinely think he is the best wrestler ever. His career tells you that. He is great, Vince McMahon's greatest creation. And the only thing I want to say before I go is that I hope he gets the retirement he deserves. It looks like it's going to come this year at WrestleMania, but I hope they do it the right way and he goes out as the legend he should be in the legend. He should He should be remembered as. But yeah, what a guy! My favorite wrestler of all time. Well, my favorite wrestler, and I think he is the greatest wrestler of all time. Yeah, that's my list. Let me know what you think about it. Are there any that you think are missing? Let me know your list down below. Are there any that you don't agree with? As always, I want to start a conversation with this. If the What Culture guys see it, I hope they comment and let me know what they think of the list, because that would be awesome. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, say, is it like a one-off special wrestling video? Then leave a like, leave a comment about who you think the greatest wrestlers ever are. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you're not already, please subscribe, because it'll help me out, because it'll be awesome. I will see you in the very next video. I've been Jamie Hughes. This has been The Jamie Hughes Show. Ta-ra.